Hello, this is Mrs. Poland for Algebra 2 Midterm Review. In this video, I am going to go over the skill of long division. So when you're dividing a polynomial by a binomial, the first thing you want to do is make sure that your polynomial isn't missing any terms. And if we look at this example, we know that this particular polynomial is missing the x cubed term and the x term. And so when you're setting up your dividend, you have to make sure to add that in by giving it a zero coefficient. And we're dividing it by the divisor of x minus 2. So the process that we use is divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, and that's the acronym Dirty Monkey Smell Bad. So first, you're going to look at the first term of the dividend and the first term of the divisor, and you're going to take 2x to the fourth and divide it by x. And when you do that, you get 2x cubed. And make sure to line it up under the proper coefficient in the dividend. You're then going to multiply that 2x cubed by the divisor. And when you do that, you get 2x to the fourth minus 4x cubed. You're then going to subtract, but when you're subtracting, you're actually changing the sign. So you're going to subtract the 2x to the fourth, and then negative, negative, you're going to add a 4x cubed. Make sure to circle the signs so you know you've already changed them. You're going to add down, and you get 4x cubed minus 6x squared plus 0x plus 4. And then you're going to look to see if you can divide again. Does 4x cubed, is it divisible by x? Yes. As long as what you're dividing has an exponent that is as large as the one from the divisor, you can keep on going. So now I'm going to take 4x cubed and divide it by x. And when I do that, I get a positive 4x squared. Now I'm going to multiply the 4x squared by this divisor of x minus 2. And when I do that, I get 4x cubed minus 8x squared. I change the signs because I'm going to subtract. Make sure you change them so you remember that you've done that. 4x cubed minus 4x cubed is 0, so you don't have to write anything. Negative 6x squared plus 8x squared is 2x squared. You bring down the 0x and bring down the 4. Can I repeat? Can I go further? Yeah. 2x squared divided by x is x. So we're back to the top again of the process. And you get positive 2x. Again, line it up over the proper term above the dividend. And now 2x times x minus 2 is 2x squared minus 4x. You change the signs and you add down. Let's repeat the process one more time. You're taking 4x and dividing it by x. And when you do that, you get 4. Make sure to put it in your quotient. You're now multiplying the 4 times the x minus 2. So you get 4x minus 8. And now we change the sign. And when we add down, you get a value of 12, a remainder of 12. Now they ask you to place it into a certain form, the quotient plus the remainder over the divisor. So this is my quotient right over here. My remainder is the 12, and this is my divisor. So your final answer should be quotient 2x cubed plus 4x squared plus 2x plus 4 plus the remainder of 12 over the divisor of x minus 2. And that's the final answer. Now, one thing you can do if you want to check to make sure you didn't make any kind of arithmetic mistake is we can actually use the remainder theorem. And what the remainder theorem says is take the polynomial and substitute the 0 in. It should match the remainder. What do I mean? Let's go ahead and take my divisor. That's the x minus 2. Set it equal to 0 and solve for x. And when you do, you get x equals 2. Then substitute in that value of 2 into the polynomial. And evaluate. You can either evaluate by hand or you can use the calculator. So I'm going to use the calculator. I'm going to take 2 and I'm going to store it in x. So 2 control var x and hit enter. I'm now going to go ahead and retype in the value. So 2x caret 3 plus, oh, actually it's 4. So let me go back. Minus 6x squared plus 4. And when I hit enter, notice that equals 12. So at least I know I have the correct remainder. Let me do the next division problem. So we have 3x cubed minus 5x squared plus 10x minus 3, and I'm dividing it by 3x plus 1. Notice there's no missing term in this case. So it's 3x cubed minus 5x squared plus 10x minus 3. And I'm dividing this by 3x plus 1. So dirty monkeys smell bad. This just helps keep me on track with the process. So I'm taking 3x cubed and dividing it by 3x. And when I do that, I get a value of x squared. And I line that up. I'm now taking that x squared and I'm dividing it by the divisor of 3x plus 1. When I multiply that out, I get 3x cubed plus x squared. I change the sign because I'm subtracting, and then I add down. Notice the first term is going to eliminate, and I get negative 6x squared plus 10x minus 3. And I repeat the process. So negative 6x squared divided by 3x is a negative 2x. Careful with your signs. I line that up over here, and now I'm multiplying negative 2x by the 3x plus 1. When I do that, I get negative 6x squared minus 2x. I change the signs, and I end up with 12x minus 3. And now I'm going to repeat the process again. So I take the 12x and I divide it by 3x, and that gives me a value of positive 4. I multiply the 4 times the 3x plus 1, and I get 12x plus 4. I change the signs, and I get -7. So my final answer, again in proper form, here's my quotient, here's my remainder, here's my divisor, is x squared minus 2x plus 4 plus, or you can write minus because you're subtracting, 7 over the divisor. Again, you can check your answer using the remainder theorem. So I know that I'm dividing by, well, we're going to skip that for now. All right, I hope this has helped. See you tomorrow.